G'day guys, Club Cara here. We've done a bee inspection in our hives here yesterday, and looks like they've got a fair bit of honey stores. So we've got a full depth box here which is completely full. Every frame's got around 3/4 drawn out and capped honey. So even the bottom one where the brood box is, we've got every frame's probably got about that much capped honey on the top of it. So we're sort of assuming there's enough stores in there, so we're going to go ahead and harvest some, see how it all goes. So we're going to take 3 frames out today, and we're going to harvest that for our first time, and hopefully we can spin them without damaging the comb, and we'll get them back into the into this top box here.
Alright, so now we've got the that top super off that didn't have anything in it. We can get into the honey combs that we needed to pull out. So you can see there's a bit of activity on the top here.
I think they're still a bit raised up from yesterday.
Yeah, you can see when we just walked around here without pulling anything off, they were already checking us out a bit. So
I have read different websites saying, you know, if you're nice and calm, they won't do too much, but they're sort of just checking us out for now, so we're just going to try and make it as calm as we can.
Yeah, you can sort of just see them, they're not like attacking us, but well, there is the odd one.
Yeah, they're sort of flying into me at the moment, so they're not real happy.
The veil. Alright. Now, from yesterday, we know that they're got plenty of stores, so we're not going to be hurting them too much for winter. And yeah, so we want to take out 3 today of some of the fullest ones that we can, so that we'll get the most out of the comb. So we can pull this one out fairly easily.
So they are fairly raised up.
Yeah, you would not want to have no seed on today.
No. Not sure how those people do that. Maybe we've just been a little bit too rough over the time, or maybe it's just our colony as well, because right now there's a lot of bees.
Yeah, they really want to attack us here.
Yeah.
You just see the amount flying around.
They're not very happy.
And these ones are the ones that attack you. Like yesterday, they were flying around more, but they weren't attacking you like this. These ones are like banging into me. So. Oh, they're going for it. Wow, there's like 10 hitting into my thing every second. Damn. Oh, I'm gonna get stung 100%. They're so... oh, they are the angriest I've ever seen them, actually.
Yeah, they're certainly not happy.
Yeah, we're going to have to leave them for a while after this. We don't want to... they are not happy. Oh, what an awful feeling that all of them stinging you, trying to get us through our gloves.
Yeah, they're certainly not happy. Which sort of sucks. We don't really want to be...
Yeah. See, we're just brushing them off here, the comb. We don't want to take any inside the shed that will sting us, so...
Probably are a little bit too rough.
We'll take that one over there. Alright, so if we just have a look back in here, you can see that to the right here, that it's a bit dark, but it looks like another one that we might take to the right, and I'm not sure what the next one will take, but...
Okay, so...
got that one in, shed, and now we just need to take 3 more out. I was thinking the one on the right.
I reckon this one.
Yeah, we can check the other side of it just to double check that it's alright. they were like this always when you just like inspected them not very regularly. They would be a bit of an angry hive like they are now. This is what sort of like an angry hive would sort of seem like. They're all hitting into you, they're not just checking you out and crawling on you. These ones are, millions of them are just attacking you to get you away, not to just scare you off. There's another one on, this one on the left here looks pretty capped too. Might even take that one. Yeah, they're very stuck together. Okay. See, reach over here. Maybe this next one. Okay, so here's the third and final one that we'll be taking today. Beautiful looking honey. Certainly looking good. So I think this one's these have also got the squiggly pattern too on them. If you watch out yesterday's episode when we went into the bottom box here, the capped honey was really odd. I don't know if it's a disease or something to do with the queen. It's really odd. If you have any, if you know what that is, put it down in the description so you know. It's really odd. The pattern and shape of the capped honey is all squiggly and it was black. It's really odd. So I think we'll see you back next when we are ready to uncap and spin out the honey. See you then.
Okay, here we are. We've got our frames of honey. Keep in mind we haven't done this before, so this is our first attempt at decapping and then putting them into the spinner. So I've just got a piece of wood and a nail protruding out of it just so I can pivot it around. I'm hoping that works. I've seen that on other YouTube channels, so I'm hoping that's a good theory. Got our brand new uncapping knife, and we've got a tub, clean tub for the cappings to go into. So we're going to start. So let's just see how we go with this. So, ooh, really hot.
Yep. Just to get that first bit off, so.
And then we can sort of come down in this sort of action, I guess.
And if you don't know anything about beekeeping, this is pretty much just opening the cappings up that seal off the honey so that we can spin all the honey out, and we'll show you how we do that later.
Yeah, and we're trying not to, we don't want to damage the frame too much either.
I think you do have to dig in a little bit to sort of get it. Like, yeah, that's looking a bit better.
I have seen people do this really well. It might
Yeah,
be a little bit
yeah.
high for me at the moment.
Okay, so you can see it's exposing that honey there. It's looking pretty good, and then the uncapped bit at the bottom there. So that's all just dripping into a bucket there. So
I'll just try coming up the other way. Jeez, it's really not the easiest thing to do.
yeah, I'm sure after a bit of practice we'll get better about it. But
I hope so.
yeah, so we can yeah. Alright, so fairly simple concept, just getting all those cappings off.
Okay, that's one side sort of done. wouldn't say it was the best attempt, but...
Try to dig in a bit more on this one, maybe. Yeah, because I see them. It sort of like peels off because the only maybe a bit deeper. Sort of comes off in like a sheet when you see other people do it. A bit like that. Yeah, that's looking a bit better. Just get the hang of it. And we'll be straining this honey, these cappings, because a bit of the honey does come out with that. So yeah.
Okay, that definitely was better.
Cool, that one was pretty good. Okay, so now that one is ready to go into the spinner.
So this is the other thing, we really don't want to damage the comb if we can help it.
Now with this spinner, it's very simple. It's just got a handle here, you twist it around and it spins the honey out, and we'll do that about 10 minutes on each side of the frame, so that'll get it all out. And then you've also got, it's a bit cold today, so we've got the patio heater on, warming it up, so it's about maybe 30 degrees in here, maybe a bit more, and that'll just help the honey spin out better. We haven't, it's certainly not a tested method, but we're hoping that it will make a difference. So yeah, and that'll just drip down to the bottom where there's a tap on the other side that'll all pour out of. So we'll get back to you when we've uncapped them all.
G'day guys, we're back again. Now we've decapped the frames and we have put them in, and we've actually got the top of the frame facing the same sort of way, same pattern, trying to distribute weight as evenly as possible. So once again, this is the first time we've used this machine, so what we're going to do, we're going to spin it for probably 10 minutes one way. Now these things can be a little bit unbalanced, so oh yeah, you can see the honey spinning out. We'll just start off slowly so we don't damage any any of the foundation.
Yeah, if you can sort of see it maybe spinning out, hitting the sides there, you can sort of see that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Going all around. So
It's coming out nicely actually, so pretty pleased with that so far.
yeah, and eventually we'll speed it up a bit. So
Yeah.
get up. And so hopefully we can get a good amount of honey out of these.
When we stop seeing it spinning out, we will stop it and turn the frames around. So this is a spinner that you have to actually turn the frames around 180 degrees basically. So the outside part that it's facing on the outside of the actual comb is what's spinning out now. So you have to spin that around the other way, so the inside part is facing the outside. You can buy other spinners where the frame sits in, instead of like that, it will sit in like that and it will spin both sides at once, but obviously a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
You can get motorised ones as well, but once again, a lot more expensive. So I'm just going to speed this up a bit and see how it goes. Okay guys, so we've just spun the one side and the spinner's starting to bounce around a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin it around, just try and distribute the weight a little bit better. I'm hoping we haven't damaged anything in here. Okay, so you can see that side, you can see it's a lot different colour.
yeah, you can see it. So.
Okay, once again, see that side,
So it's side that.
totally different colour.
Yeah.
So it works quite well actually. Like, so these are a fairly cheap spinner, but they're very effective from what we can gather. Didn't take long, we probably only just spun it for 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah, we might.
Maybe not even.
We'll have a better look at them maybe a bit after it all, see if there's any honey left in them, and we'll just finish them up. But they are looking pretty good.
They are looking good.
So now just spin the other side.
Okay, so we're ready to go the other side.
Should be able to see some coming out on the sides. You can see it hitting the sides there, of the honey. Okay.
I reckon you get about 2 to 3 kilos off a frame, but we'd be happy with 1.5 kilos to 2 kilos, but let's just wait and see how that sort of pans out. Okay guys, as you can see, if I hold that up to the light, you can see a lot of the honey's just gone. There's probably a little bit where it hasn't been uncapped properly, but pretty much 98%, 99% of that honey has been spun out, which I'm really happy about. So what we're going to do, I'm glad it hasn't damaged the frames either, a lot of the wax.
Yeah.
Because we can put that back in, they'll clean it up, they'll repair whatever needs to be repaired, and it saves them a lot of time to have to draw that out again. So there's one of them.
Yeah, that's good.
One of these is probably got a little bit left on there, but that's just the uncapping. Hasn't gone as planned.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
Saves us the trouble of scraping that bit off and then redoing it all again.
A little bit more on that one.
Yeah, gives it back to them, and
yeah, you don't have to take every last drop. So if you don't uncap it properly, that's fine, and that's the end result is there.
Yeah, you can sort of see that it's looking pretty good. It's a bit hard to see, but
okay, so I'm going to go put these frames back in the hive, and they're not going to like me too much again, but I'm only going to be quick. So I'll get them back in, and then we're going to strain that honey, because it's probably got bits of wax, through one of these honey strainers. So we'll pour it out of the gate valve, which is built into this spinner. Pour it out of that into a clean bucket. We're going to wash these buckets out thoroughly. Bit of hot water, sterilise it, dry it completely. You don't want any moisture. And then we can pour it into one of these buckets.
Oh, and also the cappings.
And the
we'll be straining those too. There's still a bit of honey that ran out through there, so
there's a bit there. So looks like a pretty successful honey harvest as far as that goes. Like I said, the bees have still got 7 full depth frames. Might as well call it 6, because you know, by the time you add it all up, some aren't fully capped and that. So there's 6 full depth frames in there with honey, and plus the bottom brood box has all got, you know, probably that much to the top of the frames is all capped honey as well. So they've got plenty of stores. We don't want to rob them too much, and they should be reasonably happy. Now they've got a bit more room to store honey as well, and we won't need to touch these bees for a little while. Okay, so we're ready to filter out any wax cappings and maybe some dead bees if they've got in there, and we're not sure how much is in here, but we've got a little honey filter over a clean bucket that we've just scrubbed out and dried completely. Here we go.
it's looking good.
I think we're going to have to tilt this a bit. It's a nice colour.
It's running pretty nicely. Will take a while to sift through that thing because it is very thin, so no wax cappings get through, so that might take a bit.
Yeah, you probably have to leave it overnight, I'd say. But it's got a beautiful colour.
Mmm.
Mmm. Got a beautiful flavour too. Okay, so
Let that bit drain through.
I might even fill one of these small buckets unfiltered. got a bit of wax on there.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't matter. I reckon most of the wax would be at the top that we've just filtered out, so.
You'd think the wax would float. There's not really much left.
Yeah, it does look fairly clean though.
Probably flow out a bit better if someone didn't drop the spatula in there.
Wonder who that could be. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so I reckon we'll have about maybe 2.5 kilos, maybe 3.
I think these are 1.5 kilos, maybe they're more.
Yeah, no, they're bigger than a normal kilo.
Oh,
bucket.
definitely more than a kilo, but...
They seem to be...
Oh, these are 2.3 kilos.
2.3, okay. So we might have a bit more than 3, because it'd probably be enough to fill in...
This is actually filtering quite quickly.
Yeah, oh, that's pretty good.
Might take...
Drop down a bit.
Yeah.
Nice bit of cappings in there. So it came out pretty clean. Didn't get too much cappings in there. Alright, so I think we'll get back to you when we're all bottled up and with the end product. So see you then.
Righto guys, how's it going? We have just done our first extraction. Obviously we're pretty happy. So these are the 2 buckets that we've got. We've got some cappings draining off. Don't know if you can see that. And there's still a little bit of honey left in the spinner. So we're probably going to try and get that out tomorrow when the day warms up a little bit. It's probably a bit easier to get, and it's getting late. So basically these are fairly big buckets. We'll weigh that off. We've got about 2.8 kilograms, which would be about, what is it, 2.8. That's about £5. Is that right? 2.8 and that one there is about 2.7 roughly. So 2.8 add 2.7, that's 5.5 kilos, which is about £12 of honey.
Not
for
bad.
All you Americans that are watching out there, or anyone else that uses the pound structure. £12, 5.5 kilo. So 3 frames. So they reckon you can get up to about 2 to 3 kilo off a frame, or 1.5 to 3 kilo maximum sort of thing. So what did we get? We got 5.5 kilo. We got 1.83 kilos, or £4 off each frame. So we're pretty happy with that. Obviously, when you eat local honey that you produce in your own backyard, it can be really good for allergies, because the bees are obviously gathering pollen and nectar out of your local flowers around the area. So there's so many health benefits for this, and obviously it tastes really good. Unfortunately, we had a pretty cranky hive today, but we did do the inspection yesterday, so you sort of got to give them a few days to sort of calm down a bit and sort of get their bearings again. And you know, we're going in, we're destroying their home. You know, it sounds a bit sad, but basically they had surplus there. It looked like they were storing a lot of honey down in the brood chamber, and we don't really want that. I mean, a little bit's fine, but it looked like when they were getting available space down there, they were really pumping the honey in down the bottom, and we really want room for our queen to lay down there. So we thought if we take some out, might draw them back up into the top to store that nectar. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed all the little techniques. Any comments or queries, we'll try and answer them. We're obviously pretty new to this. This is our first season of beekeeping, and so far these are the rewards that we've got, plus all the experience and you know, a lot of knowledge, a great little development for young children to sort of get involved. We keep a diary whenever we do inspections. We log a diary, and just on Microsoft Word. I mean, you could use a manual one. Try and do some video clips as well, because that's a great source of logging your information and what you've done. Because 12 months or 2 years down the track, you're not going to remember what you did, and you might have some little techniques that you sort of gather and develop as you go along. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next clip.